Freestyle Friday, everybody. EJ and Miss Ward here, or Miss Ward and EJ, whichever way you prefer. Ladies first. Good morning, Miss Ward. How you doing?
Good morning, Superman. What's happening?
I feel like I ain't been on with you in a while. Zach's been taking all the credit here, so it's me and you for the next 2 weeks.
Hey, well, let me tell you something, man. Get your reps in. Let's get it, boy. Fourth quarter, man. We teeing up for 2025. I'm trying to figure out where everybody at.
See, and I'll tell you, you guys might be looking at the calendar and saying, is it really the fourth quarter? No, it's the third quarter. But surprise, we have Zach joining us. It is the third quarter, but if you ain't preparing for the fourth quarter, and even better than that, the next game, 2025, you're behind. You're behind. Good morning, Jeremy. He says he's here for Miss Ward and everybody else is too. So me and Zach, we're just along for the ride.
We are.
Zach, how you doing? It looks like a beautiful day in Illinois today.
I'll tell you what, it definitely is. It definitely is. Out here with the crew, getting fired up. Good day.
Yeah, man.
Good day. Good morning, Adam and Andrew.
Yeah, man. You getting that morning sunshine. That's the best one. All the nutrients, man.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about today. Why aren't you planning for the fourth quarter yet? The game's already half over. How you planning to close out the year, and what are you gonna do next year? So we know winter is coming. Ain't that right? Should I say it different, Zach? Winter is coming. That's the Game of Thrones shout out. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But I'm going to let Miss Ward do the prayer, and I'm going to read a little scripture first, though. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So I got this book again, Prayers and Promises for Men. It says in fine print, women can read it too, but it doesn't. But I'm going to read about boldness. So we have a few Bible verses here. Acts 28:31 says, he proclaimed the kingdom of God and taught about the Lord Jesus Christ with all boldness and without hindrance. Proverbs 28:1 says, sinners run away even when no one is chasing them. But those who do what is right are as bold as lions. And then the last one here, Hebrews 4:16 says, let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive his mercy and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. The thought over here says, my comforter, I need you to embolden my weak heart. By your great spirit and the certainty of your gospel promises, I may stand with strength in the face of adversity and trial. But I am weak by myself, and in my own confidence, I trust in you for boldness and certainty of conviction. Certainty that your way and promises are good and true, worthy to be declared and to stand firmly for them in the face of a world that roars against your precepts. Strengthen me to root myself in your promises, and I will stand true in boldness for the graciousness of your good news. How do you find courage to be both bold and tenderhearted? So that's our thoughts for the day. If you want to bring the prayer, Miss Ward, we'll get started talking about the business. And if you guys are watching, drop a comment there. Let us know you're watching and be part of it. You got to unmute, Miss Ward. God can hear you, but we can't.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you, boy, I'm hyped. Lord, thank you for allowing us to rise this morning with great energy, great intentions, and great thoughts, great plans by putting you first. Order our steps, keep our minds on the prize. Lord, please do not allow us or anyone around us to be discouraged by false evidence appearing real. There's no fear as long as we have you. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right. So, did any of them scriptures speak to you, Miss Ward?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Everything speaks to me, man, because my goal in 2024 has always been to move me out the way. You follow me? When you understand you are really a tool, that you woke up this morning in your right mind. That is a gift from God. You know, we don't have any challenges, the cares of the world, we don't have to be concerned about, because God has lightened our load, because we can take it to God at every moment. Anytime you stressed out because you holding on to something that really ain't yours.
Yeah.
It's the Lord's. So when you understand that, you can move, I get up and I'm about it. I realize I'm in the way when I'm stressed out, and when I see when I see Caprice show up, that's my middle name and my alter ego. So when I start seeing that, I'll be like, okay, now we're not going back to the dark side, are we?
Caprice is the feisty one.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. I don't care.
Caprice is the hood and Miss Ward, if you didn't know.
Exactly. You know what
He's
they
the
say,
feisty
you
one.
out the hood. Anyway, let me get back on track.
Caprice out there.
Dude, I'm about to go tangent. Nuclear this morning. But anyway, man, I'm so happy to be with my brothers, man. But the reality is that the beautiful thing of having the moral compass of our relationship with God is that it keeps us, and it's the rudder of your life. It really is.
Yeah.
Because, I'm so driven. Like, I will make, in my brain, I'm thinking I'm going to make this happen by brute force. How's that working for you, Miss Ward?
I think we can all say that one. How's that working for you?
All right. We got a question. He saw that I said recently that I plan to take a vacation or a holiday once a quarter. Let's talk about it, right? So what he's referring to is my goal at the beginning of the year we was just reading Clockwork, the book Clockwork, and it talks about building a business that can run without you, to where you could take a 4-week vacation and come back, and not only is your business still there and running, but it's growing at the same rate. And one of the things that I also thought about at that time was I'd really like to be able to take a 1-week vacation every quarter and do it intentionally. And then, that also led me to think, well, maybe my guys should too. So I offered an incentive to them to earn up to 4 weeks additional pay time off based on KPIs they can hit. And it's working. Terry so far has earned 4 extra days, and Andrew just started last quarter, mid-quarter. He earned 1 extra day. So that's working for them, but how's it working for me? You have to be able to have a team of who's that run your business when you're not around. So there's another book called Who Not How, and Zach's reading Buy Back Your Time. So you have to have the processes in place and the people in the right place to do the things that need to be done to keep the business running. And I'll tell you, each time I've taken the week this year, which has been three times so far, so I'm 3 for 3, and I've come back and the business is still running. It's not necessarily growing, but it's running. And we have some issues that need to be addressed. I look at it as an opportunity for improvement. So when we come back, we find what did we struggle with, and then we focus on building a process around that. And each time the problems are smaller, especially now that I have Stephanie on the team. She and my office help worked great the last time I took the vacation, which was mid-July, I think it was, maybe June. We went to Michigan for a week, to the east side of Michigan. And I didn't worry about my business. It was the first time I didn't worry at all. Like generally, I'll worry and I'll be watching the messages that go across, checking every job as I go. This time, I just kind of watched, just because I thank you, Miss Ward, for sharing the link for Clockwork. It's in the chat above this comment. I checked it just because it's kind of like my hobby. I'm used to checking in on the business, but I just kind of watched casually. I enjoyed my vacation. So you have to make plans to do that. We had a couple people check in while we was talking. QHRS, How to Repair Shop. Good morning. Good morning, Garrison. And good morning, Repair Pro Treneur.
Before you get too far there, EJ, so one of the things that you said is it ain't growing, but it's running, right? So once we figure out how to get the business running without us, then the trick is, all right, cool, now it's running. How do we get it growing while we're not here? Who is the person that can help this grow, or how many of my team can help this grow while I'm not here, right? So it's an evolution. You know, you guys have heard me say it before. I'm a test and try person. So what different things can we test? What different things can we try? How can we document this to then figure out what's going to work to get to that next level, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, my next challenge here is, as we say good morning to a few others, Saul, Dan, and Marion, Mr. and Mrs. Dan, Dr. Dan. September, the end of September, we're going to PSA. And I'm planning to bring both of my techs with me. And I have a new recruit that I've been recruiting for 4 years. He's out of the Navy now and plans to join the team in December. And he should be there too, because he's living in Virginia Beach area. So we're not going to have any techs running service calls that week. So there's people out there right now that say, I can't leave. I'm the only tech. I understand. I left when I was the only tech. And I'm planning for the first time to leave with all of my techs for a week. I'm going to have Stephanie at the office handling things and my office help answering the phones. But my next month or so of planning is going to be trying to figure out what to do in that meantime. Do I network with somebody else in my area? Do we just tell everybody we're booked out for a week? What about the recalls? That's next level. You know, I want to build a team that gets the rewards of the labor that they've done too. And I want to show them that I invest in their training and their future. So you guys can watch along for the ride as I do that for the next 2 months, and maybe see if we clean up all the pieces for the month after that. But we're living it. What's going on, Miss Ward? What's your thoughts on this?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about being next level. And you cannot continue to do what you, like they say, what you did to get here is not what's going to get you to the next level. You got to, first of all, I commend you, my brother, for continually growing and expanding. I feel it's an honor and a privilege to call you a friend and watch your growth and be extremely, super excited and super supportive of that growth, as you know. And I think that is also key, is being surrounded by a team of people that believe in you and support you. Because when you grow, I grow. Let me tell you something. I am vicariously living through your expansion, development, and growth. And I'm loving every moment of it. I don't get the bumps and the bruises. I get as a spectator sport. And that's what you have to surround yourself by, people who are always expanding and growing. And every path is different. So I think it's great. I think if you are a solopreneur, I think it's imperative that you cut out that time for yourself, your family, because how can you be successful if you're not recharged? I mean, when we first get in, man, we going, you know, I know this is a family channel, so I'm gonna say we blank to the wall. You know what I'm saying? We're getting it in and we're doing what we got to do nonstop, you know? And I just think it's important that you surround yourself and that you see how every time we have a podcast, we're putting up books and we're expanding our scope intellectually, business-wise, mentally, and spiritually. And you cannot grow. You know, that 10-year-old, like, it's just like expecting the 10-year-old to move like a 20-year-old. Yeah. If you don't expand and grow, you're not going to be successful. And I'm just say this. I need people to get uncomfortable. I really need people to get uncomfortable. Do not come to Miss Ward if you are in that laid back, oh, I done figured it out and I done did the paralysis analysis and I got all the answers and I ain't got no skin in the game and ain't made move to first. God put us here to become everything that he put in us in the womb. You cannot be that if you don't understand that you have to expand your friends, your level, your circle of influence. I don't understand how people sit still and just do nothing. They okay being right there.
If you ain't growing, you're dying.
Facts.
He said we're going books to the wall. That's the PG version. Good one, Andrew. You know, I was just thinking this too when he said get comfortable being uncomfortable. Entrepreneurship is a special experience. It's not a skill. It's not a I don't know. It takes a certain type of person to be an entrepreneur. I read I was looking for the picture. I couldn't find it. But I read a post yesterday that said entrepreneurs jump off a cliff and build a plane on the way down. Like, we just jump and figure it out. We plan, but we have the faith that we'll get to Saul here in a minute. He's distracting people. So we have the faith in the process because we've done the homework and we've done the studying and the research, and we said, this is what needs to happen. And then you jump, and everybody else around us looks and says, that dude's crazy. What are you thinking? And there's stuff inside of us that says that too. Like, what the heck am I thinking? Your wife is saying, are you crazy? Like, I come up with these ideas. Now, I talk to my inner circle, my winner circle, before I mention an idea to her. And she's like, you're just coming up with these things and, oh my God, this is that and that. And I'm like, I didn't just come up with this. I've done the research. Trust me. And she's like, I ain't trusting it. You ain't showed it to me yet. And 5 years in, I think sometimes we forget to look back at where we came from because it's still hard, but it's a different hard. Like, maybe she forgot that we have taken 3 vacations this year and we still got paid and we still have a business. Right now I'm busy on we're talking about planning for the fourth quarter, right? So what are you doing for getting ready for the fourth quarter? What I'm doing, we've talked about for weeks now, rebrand and brand awareness marketing. We are getting the word out in the different channels. I'm exploring different marketing channels that I'm hoping that, and I have faith in this process, that as I am focused on growth in the summertime. Who's focused on growing your business during the summer when you're already busy? Nobody. I mean, yes, we are, because most people are so busy they don't even think about marketing in the summer. That's when they turn their ads off. I want to increase the awareness during the summer and the fall to where hopefully I can dial back in the winter. When we get to the winter, and I'll just be coasting still. I want to still be rolling. I don't want to be slow. And speaking of marketing, let me do a plug real quick. I just got my book in, Digital Marketing for Home Service Businesses by Michael A. Carson, a.k.a. Mike Carson, ITD Web Design. And spoiler alert, I'm in the book. So if you don't like Mike, buy it because I'm in it. Zach's in it. 5-star Mike is even in it. He's not even on my team anymore. So let's see what Andrew says. Doesn't have to be entrepreneur only goals. 25, I'm buying a Jeep and going in the woods again. Ain't been wheeling since before COVID. Hey, that's an entrepreneur goal too. You're going to use this to support that goal. And in the process, you're going to build your business to where you can take off. I love it, Andrew. I know you're going to do it too. You're going to do it. You might have it before 25.
One of the things as we're planning the fourth quarter, as we're building these entrepreneurial goals. So EJ shared, I'm listening to Buy Back Your Time, and one of the things he talks about is that there's 5 saboteurs. Especially as entrepreneurs, we are susceptible to these 5 saboteurs, and so you want to make sure that you're not creating problems that aren't there. You're truly identifying the things that are there and then making the pivots and the corrections to make your goals happen. But don't be the guy that just creates a problem, right? Like if it's not there, don't make it be there. If you're not in a position to take a vacation, don't just go and take a vacation because you crave the chaos of it, right? Like one of the things he says is, as entrepreneurs, we grew up in chaos. We grew up in the uncertainty, and we're used to tackling these huge problems that no one else can tackle. And so when there's not a problem, we get unsettled. And so just as you're looking at these things to build for the fourth quarter, don't go creating something that isn't there, right?
Zach, how often do I call you up and we're both kind of bored and we don't know what to talk about, and I just say, what kind of problem
can we solve?
Like I need a problem to solve. And if my wife knew how many ideas I come up with that don't make it to her, she would like, you guys keep me straight. Like, I don't know, that sounds like a problem. It seems like that's going to be, no, that's not going to happen.
I love the way he approaches. I love the way that the author approaches his coaching clients in Buy Back Your Time. And I'm going to start using this with EJ. And so when EJ calls me up or texts me and says, hey, I want to do this thing, and I think it's going to be just a problem, I'm going to start texting him hand grenade ? Are you just throwing a hand grenade in it just to have some chaos and have a problem in your life, or is it actually something that really is a problem? So
Facts. Well, getting back to the topic, which is prepping for the fourth quarter and things of that nature, I think that we have to be very cognizant of the plans that we have. I think what happens, and I agree with Zach, when you come up in the chaos in the business and stuff start running smooth, you're waiting on the other foot to drop. Well, you really shouldn't be waiting on the foot to drop. You should be, all that stuff that you couldn't address and handle, you should be pulling that back up and putting those perfections and processes and things like that in place. I'm a perfectionist. So for me, I have to really let some things go and understand that's good enough for where we are and what we're trying to achieve. Because when you're driven and focused, a lot of times you get stuck in one lane or in one direction because you're trying to perfect something while you're losing your shirt on the other side because you're not paying attention and you don't have the key performance indicators in place, or you're not paying attention to them, because once things start coasting well, in your mind, you relax and think it's okay. But the reality is you need to be preparing for the next level, because as human beings, we get bored. Like, this is real. So I'm in areas I never thought I would be in because I was chuckling to myself the other day when I was in Pensacola. I remember when I said I'll never work in Pensacola or Dothan. I'm over there doing SEAL systems. I'm in Gulf Breeze. I'm over in Dothan doing SEAL systems. And I'm doing some of the most challenging work in places I said that I was not going to service.
Yeah.
You follow me? So you got to be ready to change and do what you got to do to get to the next level and develop those relationships. And in some cases, some relationships you have to let go because they no longer service you. They don't serve you and you don't serve them. So I think change is just life. And so as you're preparing for the next quarter, my whole goal is I want the momentum to continue and to really escalate in the fourth quarter. You follow me? My guy, what's up, TK? I wanted to escalate so it's spilling over into 2025. And I was talking to EJ earlier. I was like, yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I'm steadily saying fourth quarter. EJ's like, we still in the third. I'm like, oh, I'm not even realizing it. And I'm telling, because my brain is always on go, 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 go. I'm just built that way.
Yeah.
But how many people let off the gas pedal, right? I love that encouragement. Don't let off that gas pedal. Continue to push. I know that wintertime is when I'm going to be off, but you better believe I'm preparing for the next season where we're kicking it off, or I'm preparing for a different venture. Whatever I'm doing, I'm still preparing in those moments, right? And I'm preparing ahead of time because I don't want to be caught off guard,
So let's go back to this thing. Love you too, TK. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. We love you, brother. One thing that Miss Ward was talking about is preparing for these times when you get bored. Like, what are you going to do, right? And then you just start reaching. So I think one thing that helped me out a lot in my mastermind with Jenny Seeley. Shout out to the Outcome Academy. Check that out if you need some help growing your business as well. She does this brain dump with us. And we do it once or twice a year where we just kind of have this exercise where we clear our mind of all the other distractions outside. And she runs through these different categories, different topics. And you get like 5 minutes to just type or write down as many things as you can think of on that topic. Just whatever's on top of your mind, just raw, throw it out there, get it out. And then you go back and read through it with your clear mind. And you think, is this important? How fast can I do it? And how big of an impact is it going to create for us? So that is one of the things that's really impacted me. And I'll tell you, just 2 weeks ago, I got to a point in my goals where I felt like I was making pretty good progress, and I didn't really know what I was supposed to do next. Like, I have that ADHD like most of us entrepreneurs do. I got always something. And then I got to a point where it's like, okay, now what? Which I still got stuff going on, but what's my focus this week? I went back to that brain dump. I saved it on a Google sheet, and I just started going through it. Now, that was encouraging and motivating. I went back and I updated some of the stuff that I put on there back in January. and I could mark them off complete. I'm like, man, I didn't even realize how far we've come. I've done these things. Like, we thought about it last year, and now it's done. We're moving in the right direction, and it feels like I'm doing it off the top of my head, but it's stuff that we planned about, and that's why it comes out so easy. So I was able to go back through and say, okay, here's 5 things I want to target this time, and I got a whole new list of goals. So we moving forward here. What's we got here? Miss Ward didn't just take off; she planned her steps. Hey, you need to go back and check out some of your old ones too. You know, me and you started around the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought there ain't no way she's going to ever know who I am. You're so high level, but
Yeah, right. But yeah.
Andrew says, I'm trying to determine if growth for me is pleasure or desperation. Let me add Zach back. He's been in and out working. So
Yeah.
Go ahead, Miss Ward.
Yeah, I want to go over some of the notes I have for prepping for the fourth quarter. One note I have here is about year-end promotions. You know, we got the holidays, all that stuff coming up. We need to be ahead of that. We don't need to be throwing them out when, you know, the turkey season's here and every oven's broken. You need to be the first thing that comes to that customer's mind when they have family gatherings, things of that nature. So whatever you need to do, whatever processes you use in reference to those promotions. The second thing is inventory check. Ensure that your parts inventory is fully stocked, especially for common repairs that you're going to have in these seasons. Because if nobody has noticed, I'm not going to say no manufacturer's name, but some of these parts getting a little tight. Remind me of the Demic. You can't find nothing. Some of the manufacturers are stashing for whatever's coming. If it is getting real, so
don't want to wait to get your igniters.
Yeah, and then one more thing I want to make sure people are aware of. A lot of us have back stock. A lot of us have old parts we're not using. Put them things on eBay. There's a high demand. I'm telling you, you need to have cash flow everywhere. Make sure number 3, make sure your team is prepared and well trained for the seasonal things that are coming up. Because look, I'm the kind of person, we need to be all about one-stop completion, parts in hands. This is not a conversation. This is what we do. You need to wow your customer. Every time I go in, people are shocked that I show up with parts. I've diagnosed the unit and I'm in and out. Because y'all know Miss Ward's about that bag, about turnaround all day. So preparation's the key. And let's not forget to go back to the basics. We all know what the areas we're struggling in, whether it be schematics, diagnostics, refrigeration. Get this stuff in order now. Don't get there and let that keep you from getting to your bag or taking care of your customers. Customer engagement. Reach out to past customers with a year-end thank you message and reminder to schedule maintenance services before the new year. Review and reflect. Take time to review your business performance for the year, noting areas of improvement and planning for growth in the new year. And last but not least, end of year maintenance. Schedule any necessary maintenance or updates for your business operations, such as software upgrades, vehicle maintenance, or office improvements.
I couldn't keep up with all of them, but y'all go back and rewind and make your list.
And how many people aren't asking for the dang referral, right? You wanna grow your business? Why aren't you asking for referrals? Come on now.
Yeah. There's one thing you mentioned there, Miss Ward, real quickly, and I targeted that issue yesterday. Thanking your customers for their business. I just signed on with Dope Marketing. Some of you heard me talk about it before. Yesterday, I sent out my first 2 boxes of cookies, branded in my own box, and it's automated, and it's set up. I'm going to give you a little game. It's set up for any customer that spends more than $900. As soon as the job is marked complete by us and ready for payroll, that means the job is done completely. within a few days, they get a box of EJ's Appliance Repair chocolate chip cookies and a thank you card. And then the 25 closest neighbors they have that fit the criteria are getting a series of postcards inviting them to do business with us in different ways. So, oh man, she dropped all of them. You guys gonna have to go through and read these. She dropped all of it in the notes there. So
I told you I'm ready, EJ. EJ, let me say hello to one of my friends, man. This is one of my employees from my automotive background. I mean, let me tell you something. I have poured into people my whole life, so he's on here. What's up, Eri Santiago? That's my dude, man. Let me tell you, this dude, he's one of the guys that I coached. He has his own business. You see that truck? He does that type of modifications. He competes. This guy is unreal. And I remember when he worked for me as a manager in my automotive. And this guy, I used to pour into him all the time. Great energy. So I love it when I see a blast from the past and people that I'm so proud of. And Ari, I'm so proud of you, man. Tell the wife, that beautiful wife, and those gorgeous kids, I said hello. This guy has a heart for the people, and he is phenomenal. Thank you for being with us today, bro.
Love it.
amen.
I want to hit on TK's topic because I think a lot of people miss what we're actually talking about when we're talking about it, right? TK is focused on growing the efficiency and not the size. You can't scale unless you have your efficiencies down. And if your efficiencies are messed up, focus on growing in that. That's still growth, right? So when we talk about growth, we're not necessarily talking about just size. We are talking about growing as an entrepreneur, growing your business into the most efficient machine that it can be. Don't mistake the two. It can be either.
Yeah. That's one thing Zach challenged me on last week. There's some things that I have in mind for my growth and size and volume and market. And he said, focus on these efficiencies first. There's certain things that are still okay, but they ain't at that level yet that we need to be at. You know, we need to improve our recall rate and our conversion rate, the booking rates. Right now, those are the three that I'm focused on right now. You guys have seen me post the top 4 business KPIs according to Tommy Mello, and I went to the convention. All of those guys that are at that level where they're doing millions. I ain't talking about 1 million, 2 to 5 million. I'm talking about millions. You can't say this kind of millions without that emphasis. Millions. They doing the business. They focus on 4 KPIs, and this is your shout out right now. Booking rate. Get my hand in the booking rate. How many people call you, and how many of them are booking a job? Okay. Average ticket size. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. Average ticket. The total number that you collect divided by the number of stops you make. There's a lot of things that go into that. Conversion rate. How many stops do you take that actually turn into a sale beyond a diagnostic charge? And 4, customer acquisition cost, otherwise known as cost per lead, different things. Some of you may say, we don't do any advertising, so our cost is 0. Well, no, you do some advertising. There's marketing. There's time that you spend building your website or your SEO, or maybe you're paying somebody like ITD Web Design to do your SEO. Maybe you're doing Facebook posts, and it's free, but there's some value to that time. Different things that you're doing, your truck wraps, different things, ads. What is the total marketing spend divided by how many new customers you got each month? And that's how these PEs which is private equity. I had to ask because I didn't know what PE was. That's how they value businesses. We all were taught that it was net profit times four to 8 times, right? They look at it as customer acquisition. How much does it cost me to acquire customers? And how many customers do you have? And can I get your business for less than that number? So all of these things matter. So if you ain't tracking those 4 things, make that your goal for the fourth quarter. Figure out those numbers and see where you're going.
And if you are tracking them, but you're not doing well in them, start improving in them. Because that's where I encourage ZJ. So he brings it up, right? Like, hey, I want to go and do this thing. Okay, I like that. But here's what I see you need to do first before you can head down that path, right? So make sure that if you don't have the efficiencies where they need to be, you focus that growth on improving those specific efficiencies.
Good. Andrew dropped his.
There you go.
That's why he's our guy.
I love Andrew. Andrew's got red hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was him.
That's Andrew. Ari says thank you and thanks for your advice. Thanks you for your coaching because thanks that I grow a lot on this business because I learn a lot from you. Yeah.
Hey. That guy was the greatest. I love that guy. He was just the best. He's one of my, he the one got me speaking Spanish around here. I'm trying to tell you.
So this is what we do. This is what it takes to learn and grow as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a leader. So we're going to leave you right now because we're all running businesses and we got to go get back to work. So,
don't forget, All Access members, join us next Saturday. Mike sent out the email to our All Access members. If you're not an All Access member, go join ServiceAllianceGroup.com. And EJ alluded to it. We are going to be at PSA at the end of September, and Service Alliance is leading 5 sessions. We have 5 business sessions. So if you enjoy what you see in the masterminds, you enjoy the brief glimpse you're getting on these podcasts in the morning grind, come and get way more than that with us at PSA in September.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if you're joining us from Service Alliance Group, check out Miss Ward's YouTube channel, Solid Steps to Wealth. And if you're joining us from Solid Steps to Wealth and you like this, check us out, Service Alliance Group podcast on YouTube and ServiceAllianceGroup.com. We want to help you learn and grow too. We just want to be part of it. And the thing you get out of us is real, genuine transparency. We're not theorizing on these things. We're learning and growing ourselves, and we're sharing the experience. So thank you for joining us on Freestyle Friday, and we'll see you next week. Zach will be back with Doug and Andy. Hey,
yep.
Look at you doing that. Man, I'm jealous. Zach just stuck his fingers up and balloon just popped out in the van. So Zach will be back with Doug and Andy on Monday. So check us out.